So this week, this situation happened that I was honestly like, okay, I'm sure, I guess. And I'm still trying to understand why would somebody do that, but at the end of the day, it's just like whatever. I just honestly just wanted to share with you guys. So this is what happened. So pretty much, because of a lot of circumstances, I might have to be moving to a different state. And because of that, I, am looking for an employment. And usually you don't move to a place unless you've got a secure job, right? Because then how are you going to pay your bills? So, while I'm applying to different employments, that's what's on my mind, of course. And, I try to make it as clear as possible that, I'm not living anywhere else but the place that my resume, cover letter, application states, right? So, I would assume, anybody would assume that things are just going to be pretty straightforward. And if they want you, they do. And if they don't, they don't. So then, of course, I applied to like a billion places. And out of the billion places, probably like 5 or 4 of them come and get back at me, right? So I get these emails and, I have a request from this particular employer that they want to set up a phone call with me to, get to know me a little bit more, discuss the position a little bit more, and potentially schedule an interview. So I'm just like, awesome. I've already probably at this point, scheduled and so on and so forth, like a couple of them. So I'm just like, okay, sure, why not? So then the day comes, and this actually happened this last week. And the day comes, and I wait for the phone call. I pick up, we do the normal schnormal, I just totally made up that word, introductions, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So then the person that's, I guess, phone screening or phone interviewing, whatever you want to call it, asked me, so where are you living right now? And in my head, I'm just like, okay, like it was in my resume, cover letter, and application, but I guess. And I told the person, I was just like, oh, I'm still living in such and such state, but it is within my plans to move back to such and such state. But it all just depends on when I'm able to acquire an employment. I do want to have a secure employment before I make a big decision like that. At that point, anyone would be like, well, no, duh, like, how are you gonna move anywhere, and not have an employment? Like, your bills got to get paid. So then, I'm just like, okay, it's probably gonna be like the other, people that I spoke to, that they're like, okay, just to let you know, interviews are at the interviewee's expense, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But no, this lady proceeds in telling me, well, what's the address that you're going to move to, and where, and when are you moving? And then again, I'm just like, does she not understand what I just said? But then I'm trying to be polite, and I just say, well, ma'am, I can't disclose that at the moment, as to where I'm going to be living. All I know, it's going to be around such and such place, more than likely, because that's where I've been looking. But it all just depends on how fast and when I'm able to acquire a secure job. And she's like, so when are you moving? And I proceed in telling her, again, it just depends, like, I kid you not, I probably like repeated myself like 3 or 4 times. And then she proceeds to telling me, well, so I'm sure that you read the job ad or job posting or whatever it's called, whatever she said. And you are aware that this employment is for such and such place, and we employ people who live within 15 miles, just to, what is she going on? She went on at this big explanation just so, pretty much their employees aren't traveling too far, and I proceed in telling her I understand, of course, that's expected. And, you know, at this point, you know, I'm just like, okay, so does she want to set up an interview with me? You know, I'm willing to go. Obviously, I know I live somewhere else, and I'm applying somewhere else as well. But I am willing to go out of my way to, you know, go to this interview if possible, you know. And I, in a polite, suggestive way, let her know that. But I don't think she understands this. And then she proceeds in telling me, well, you need to have moved here already in order for you to come in for an interview, and discuss, you know, a couple of things. And so then in my head, I'm just like, okay. So I told her, okay, I understand. I will be out there such and such dates, because, you know, I have to do a couple of things those days. So, you know, it's kind of like telling her I'm available, you know. And she's just like, literally, like verbatim, when you move out here, just give me a call and we'll see if we can go ahead and maybe set up an interview. No. At this point, I'm just like, no, you guys are just wasting my time. Like, you guys seem to pay great, but no. So then, you know, I'm just like, okay, thank you for your time, blah, 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 closing sentences, blah, 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 we hang up. I'm thinking to myself, who on earth moves to a whole different other state without an employment with the hopes that, okay, maybe this person will employ me. Maybe that other employer will employ me. Like, no, nobody in their right mind is going to move to a place not knowing if they're going to be able to end up with a job. I'm not going to move to a place just so I can give them an address and I can go to an interview. And an interview, it doesn't guarantee, an interview doesn't guarantee your employment at any place, you know? So in my head, I'm just thinking, I told her that I'm available such and such dates. I'm able to come in for an interview, blah, blah, blah. But she's just like so adamant about me giving her an address and a time frame in which I will have already moved back to this place. And I'm just like, that's not going to happen until I have a secure job. And I am pretty sure I made myself clear in like 3 different ways on like 4 different occasions, but she just wasn't processing this. So in my head, I'm just like, employers usually are understanding. Well, most employers are usually understanding when they have a person who's applying from a different state. Some employers are wonderful and they will pay for, I guess, I don't know, for some relocation, blah, blah, blah. Some others will state, you know, very clearly in their ad or posting that if you come in for an interview or for a testing, it's at your own expense. And, you know, that's understandable. I totally understand that, you know, but I think it's a little too much when employers start demanding for you to, you know, live at such location in order to give you an interview. It's just like, if you prefer local candidates, why don't you state that in your ad? You know, like, how am I supposed to know that you only want local candidates, that you don't want people from out of town, that you don't want people from out of state? You know, like, if I literally told you I'm willing to come in at my own expense, if it's an interview that you need whatever for me, it's fine, you know. But to just go on this rampage of, no, you need to have already been living here. And I mean, I get it. They're trying to control, a lot of employers try to control, like, you know, how far an employee is traveling, you know, blah, blah, blah. Try to take that into consideration. But at the same time, it's just like, they should be more understanding. Like, come on now, like, you're not going to move. Nobody's going to move to a place where they don't have a job, you know, secured, you know, just for an interview. Like, that makes no sense. Anywho's, that happened, and I was just like, the next couple of days up to today, I was just like, okay, that's okay. That's something, you know, that's something I can add on my list of, you know, while I was searching for a job. You know, it's just, I don't know, it's just mind blowing, I guess, at a certain, you know, in a certain way. I don't know. I just thought it was really funny in a sense. Like, at the moment, I was just like, how you say it in Spanish, estaba bien sacada de onda. Like, okay, if you knew, you know, where I was living at, you know, everything on my resume, cover letter, application stated that I live in such and such place, and you know that you don't want any, like, outsider or outside applicants, then maybe you shouldn't have contacted me. Maybe an email should have sufficed. Maybe you should have sent out an email saying, you know, thank you for your time, but at this moment we're only looking for local candidates or something like that. I don't know. Honestly, I just felt like that wasted my time and that wasted their times. And if you know anything about me, I hate when people waste my time, and I hate wasting other people's times too. So, I mean, I was just really taking it far with this. I was just like, okay, I guess, you know. So, anywho, that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you guys. It was just something that I was just like, okay, that's cool, I guess. I guess. I don't know. So, yes. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys have a fantastic, you know, day, weekend, week, whatever day it is that you're watching this. And if you want to keep up with, you know, the different types of videos that I, you know, upload, go ahead and subscribe. Anywho's, I really, really want to thank you for watching my video and videos if you happen to watch my other ones. So have a great day. Bye.